What a difference a week makes. Let's see. This is Monday. So a week ago today, we were at Ura Shrine. We were getting ready for the first night of investigation at Ura Shrine a week ago today. Is that right? Am I right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because we did
I'm going with it.
Yeah, we did Brownella Cottage on Friday and Saturday of
Right.
not this last Friday and Saturday, but a week prior. And then Sunday we
Right.
stopped in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and patted the Mothman's ass. And then
Yes, we did. He had a solid ass. I'm
Then
telling you, it was a solid ass.
yeah, then Monday we went to Ura Shrine and investigated there Monday and Tuesday night. All, by the way, thanks to the Ghost Sisters. They set up both of those investigations for us. Couple of great places, Britt. Those were fun and exciting, revealing, active places.
Brunella was great and had some great activity. Urea.
Not
Jesus.
urea. That's a very different thing, Britt.
Yeah,
That's when you go to the
way different.
doctor. Yeah, very, very
yeah.
different.
You don't want urea. How do you say it again?
Ura Shrine, the Ura Shrine.
Thank you. I did have it. Ura Shrine was off the chart.
Wow.
I mean, that's probably top 3 in my lifetime of
It was
crazy places I've been to.
crazy.
You know, I mean, and it was funny. We were having a conversation this morning about it and talking about doing the stream tonight. And you were like, I wish I would have had more time to really look. You know, when we were breaking down and all the lights were on that last night, I got on my back and shimmied under that dragon table with my flashlight.
Oh, you were
and
trying to get that last raisinette or goober that you dropped, right? Is that what?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That I dropped. I definitely need it. Although I am eating Skittles right now. Oh shit! I just dropped it. Damn it.
See what happens.
Which are basically just little sugar things. But I did get on my back and slide underneath that dragon table, just looking for anything that could suggest that was funny business. I couldn't find it.
Right. Well, when you have a place that active, you've got to say, okay, let's rule out any monkey business here. You have to do that if you're a serious, honest investigator. And it was so active, particularly that first night, the Monday night, when we had our good friend Sean Farash with us. It was so active, and things
Poor Sean.
Yeah, I know. Well, poor but lucky as well. I mean, we've said it all along. There are paranormal investigators that go an entire career hoping for a night like that, and he got it on his first night ever.
Yeah.
You know, but when you see
I hope
that,
he doesn't think it's always like that.
I know, that's the thing. Now everything's going to be boring in comparison. But when you see that much activity and it's happening on command and it's responding to us and we're hearing names through the spirit box and all this stuff's going on, you say, okay, all right, we need to make sure there's not something funny going on here, because this is how you write the script if you're trying to make it happen right. And but
right,
we could,
exactly.
But
we could. Insane.
But we looked and we didn't find anything that would indicate to us there was anything but serious anomalies going on, whatever you want to call them. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
don't know
how to explain that place.
What do you think about what happened to me on the drive home the day after we opened the witch's box?
I'm glad the side we dropped first was to you.
I mean, okay, so if you missed,
crazy.
If you missed the broadcast, it was last Tuesday night, and we opened up a witch's box that was being kept at the Ura Shrine. And Britt did a protection ritual with Rick, the proprietor, the owner of the shrine. I chose not to do that because I just didn't know enough about it, and I just didn't feel comfortable doing it, so I didn't do it. I don't think did Mandy or Chastity do it? I don't think they did it that night, but they may have done it another time.
They've done it in the past.
Yeah. Okay. So they had. I assume that stuff. Once you do it once, it lasts forever. I don't know, but either way, I didn't do it. Works. You did it. We opened this witch's box. We actually put audio recorders inside the box, closed it back up, let it sit for about 45 minutes, went back, and we caught some weird stuff going on those recorders we're still analyzing. But to make the long story short, the next day we all head home, and I'm 2 hours into my drive, and all of a sudden I'm hearing like this kind of weird, I thought it was road noise at first, and then I thought, well, I had just had new tires put on this car, so maybe it was tire noise. I didn't know what it was. And Vax, my son James, was with me, and we're talking about it. I said, we got to pull over and see what the hell's going on. Pulled over. One of the lug nuts on the rear driver's side wheel had been sheared completely off, and the other 4 that were remaining were I could tighten them I can move them with my hand. That's how loose they were. And had we gone another 5 miles, that wheel would have come off. And going 80 on Route 81, Interstate 81, with massive trucks all around us, that probably wouldn't have ended well.
No, not well at all. And then all the gear you have behind you would have shifted forward and landed on top of you.
That's too. I often think about that. We have all those tripods and stuff. They're missiles. They're freaking missiles.
Yeah. You know, the percentage of people, there's so many people that are killed by objects inside their car. They have a code for it, and it's called other objects. So like if there's a fatality and it's not the impact of the car crushing and killing you, but yet you die because something hits you in the back of the head, they actually coded traffic accident, fatality, other object, which means something in the car squashed you. Something in the car
impaled you,
took
something.
you out.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking about it, and I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to put a net over loose objects like that, because there's a lot of gear in the back of my car when we're doing these things, and some of that stuff will come flying, and it will if it doesn't impale you, it'll crack you in the skull. There's so many things that could happen if you're in an accident like that, and even if your airbags and all that protect you from the frontal impact, that stuff coming from the back is going to come fast and hard, and it could do more damage than the accident itself. So lesson learned here, folks. Lesson learned.
Yeah. That's what actually killed Dale Earnhardt. It was a piece of the roll caging stuff that was behind him that went through his back, out his chest.
Jeez.
Everybody thought it was a chin thing. It wasn't. That's not what killed him. It was the back of the car coming forward.
Wow.
Which they made apparently significant design changes now because of that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it is worth it. But the sad reality is, that little netting and stuff is really not going to help if it's a significant impact.
Yeah.
So we just need to get a trailer.
You think you're right. Hey, Mandy, good to see you in the Facebook chat. We were just talking about you guys and thanking you for the effort you put into all of this, and you secured 2 wonderful, amazing locations for us to investigate last week. They were awesome. We have the pleasure of being able to investigate with you again coming up in our October investigation, which we're excited about because we really enjoy working with you guys. So, that's going to be cool, too. And Iowa Joe, who's checked into our YouTube chat, I want to say hi to Slacktastical and Iowa, both checking in, has a question. Iowa wants to know, have you tried any of the Spirit Box apps for phones? I'm thinking about doing a graveyard EVP session and have been thinking about trying an app out. You want to go first, Britt?
Well, I did. We did download the Necronomical or whatever it's called.
The Necrophonic.
Yeah, the Necrophonic. And I don't know. I'm trying to look it up right now. Actually, I'm trying to get on Facebook chat because I'm not in my usual location. The only thing I worry about those things, if you don't know the developers, if you don't know they're honest people, they're trying to make money. Most of them are owned by big companies now that just want to make money. So that they're gonna, they're just gonna put the algorithm in there. It's hearing keywords. You're asking questions. It's got the microphone. It's listening. Even if you deny it access, it can still gain access if it wants to. Especially if it's a shim sham type thing. That's the problem with them. We just don't know. We don't know if it's worked into at a random time it just spits out certain words, or if it hears a key word like is it a girl that's here and it spits out Allison. Because it hears girl, or do we have female? So that's the tough part about those apps is that unless you can see the code, unless the code is free for you to look through to make sure it's legit, However, if you're using an app and you have cat balls going and you have a Spirit Box going or you have a recorder going and it all kind of ties together, then maybe that makes sense. I don't know.
Here's my thought. First of all, I just want to get to the specific words you used, Iowa. You said Spirit Box. A Spirit Box is based on radio frequencies, just so we're clear about that. Phones do not have radio receivers in them. I guess some Android phones do have an FM chip in them, but they're not activated. But iPhones do not have a radio chip in them. They cannot receive radio signals, period. All they can receive are the microwave signals or Bluetooth signals, which you use for all your connections that your phone makes to devices and cell networks and stuff. So an iPhone in particular, but phones in general, cannot be spirit boxes in the truest definition of a spirit box because they don't have that capability. However, picking up on what Britt said, here's my thing about that. Some guy, whether he's in a let's call it a software engineering firm writing apps, or he's in his mom's basement writing apps, I can't figure out how in the world that guy, whoever that guy is, could write code that can communicate with the other side. Because I'll tell you what, IBM, Microsoft, Google, name your big tech company. They have software engineers coming out the wazoo, and that's a technical term, wazoo. And if there was a way to communicate with the dead, I'd be through using computer code, I'm pretty damn sure they would have figured it out by now, and we'd be doing it. They'd be charging $5.99 a month for you to access their Chat with the Dead website. But they haven't.
God, if we had to chat with the dead and you can call grandma or mom or whatever,
could you imagine?
Charge you $5.99 a minute.
Yeah, imagine that. So, I mean, put it in perspective. Sometimes when you look at this stuff, you have to say, okay, is it too good to be true? Can they really write a computer code that goes on a phone that actually communicates with the other side? Maybe. I'm not saying no completely. I'm just saying it's really, really hard to swallow. It's really, really difficult to believe that, given the fact, like I just said, some of these big software companies haven't come up with that code yet. And also, when you see the apps working, you have to say, okay, how many times does it miss before it hits something that you say, oh, yeah, that's right. We were using them all week. Chastity from Ghost Sisters is a big fan of them, and that's fine. We need to use all tools available. I'm not saying don't use them. However, it would say, 20 words before one word had any kind of remote connection to what we were doing. So is that really communicating? Is that really communicating?
But then there's the time when all of a sudden it locked in, and it was like 20 words that landed. So, it's like.
I must not have been there for that time because I don't remember. The only time I remember having
20 words might be exaggerated.
Yeah, the only time I remember being somewhat like, oh my goodness, now there's something that gets my attention is when I can't remember what the app said, and then the spirit box said the same thing. What was that? Oh,
that's right. It was I am the protector.
Right. Yeah, that's right. We heard.
Yeah, and I found that I've listened to that. It's definitely there. You hear it go across the room. It's insane.
So. What is that about? Yeah, that happens, and I have to say, okay, that is something worth noting. So I hope that answers your question. The bottom line is that I think it's fun. I mean, for $3.99, whatever, you're making somebody rich, but good for them. But why not play with it? Why not give it a shot? Now, there are some sensors in a phone, iPhone and other phones, that actually are valuable for ghost hunting. The compass can be a valuable tool. The recorder and the video
pressure.
Does it record barometric pressure? It does.
Yeah, it uses it uses the somehow you can harness the way that it can tell which way it's facing.
Okay,
like it's called magnetos in there. It's temperature, barometric pressure, recording, video, and there's one other one that these phones will do pretty good.
Yeah, so there are some things in those phones that are very, very valuable. And one of the things that I get very frustrated about is that I keep forgetting that when we're going to do an EVP session or whatever, I have a phone that is a great audio recorder. And I think, why don't I have a recorder? Often I don't have my phone, to be honest. But, I keep looking to buy a recorder. I want to get a better recorder. But the phones have great recorders in them, really, really high-quality microphones, better than any of the microphones you're going to get on these $30, $40, $50 audio recorders. So
I think the only thing better than your phone type stuff is the full spectrum sound recorders, like what are they, the H2 Zooms or the H4 Zooms, whatever they're called. But if it's the full spectrum sound studio, that's about the only thing better. However, the phones, just like the higher end recorders, the $50, $60, $70 recorders, they have more filtering in to just filter out all the fluff so that you can get more on the recording. So sometimes those cheaper ones, like like the one recorder, the SB36, whatever it is that everybody pays $1,000, $5,000, whatever dollars for.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that thing is good for us is because when they first built it, they didn't put the filters in. So that's why it gets all that extra noise, all that extra, and that's what makes it so good. So for what we do. So again, every piece of equipment has a plus and every piece of equipment has a minus. We just have to be discerning about what we're taking from it.
Right. And here's my biggest beef when it comes to
take a straight shot of you. Take a straight shot of you, please, JV.
All right. Here's my biggest beef.
And then keep talking.
Yeah, here's my biggest beef when it comes to the apps. A lot of people will turn on an app in a ghost hunt situation and then just sit there and stare at the screen. And they'll do that for hours. Now, my problem with that is that you're missing everything else that's going on around you. You're missing the things that your eyes would pick up in the room. You're missing things that your ears would pick up on the room because you're so focused on this screen. Plus, you're looking at a screen that's emitting light. Therefore, your irises are closed a little more than they would be in a dark room. So you could miss subtle light anomalies. Use it as a tool if you think it's worth using. I don't have any problem with that. But do not use it as the only tool. Because you're doing yourself a disservice. So use your eyes, use your ears, put an app up, but put it over to the side and make sure that the app, has some kind of audio indicator that something's happening. And then when it goes off, then you can look over at it. But when you're sitting there looking at the app the whole time, you're missing everything else that's going on in the room. And that's where you're going to get your best evidence. And that'll also corroborate anything that comes through the app. If you see something and then something comes through the app that indicates, it's connected to what you saw, then you've got some more evidence that you can use. But when you're staring at a screen the whole time, I think you're missing out on the best part of doing the investigation. Hang on, I have you muted. Hang on. Now you're on.
You know what I hate about this whole thing? This right here. I can't get rid of my double chin.
That's why you got to get a mic like mine with a great big muff on the end, so it hides everything behind there. See, I can do. See, I've got the same thing, but I hide it behind the big microphone. That's the beautiful thing.
I thought if I moved my camera, I'd get rid of that, but I guess I just got to grow more beard.
That's why a lot of people grow those beards. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, well, it works.
Let's see. Iowa says I used the Ghost Tube app on the cemetery the other day, and I said something like, "I'm going to turn this thing on," and the first thing that popped up was "turn it off." Okay. Did the designer sit down and say, "Okay, what would really freak out a ghost hunter when they start the app? How about if we tell them to turn it off?" That's what I would have done.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
That was what I would have done if I was writing
Amanda.
Code. What?
Sorry, Amanda's going to sleep, so I thought I'd say good night.
Oh, okay, man. Amanda, sorry. I didn't even get to say hello because I was focused on Iowa Joe's questions in YouTube. But hey, everybody, good to see everybody joining us. We're just having a chat about some equipment. We had a question about the apps and what we think of the apps. And I think the bottom line is use all tools, but don't rely on any one specific thing, and see if you can get corroboration between the things that you're using.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And then find other stuff to use. And by the way, if you hear a weird flute sound in the background, my neighbor kids are out in their backyard and they apparently they got flutes for their birthday. The ones that go.
Oh, those are what are those things called? They're not. You're not talking about a trombone. You're talking about those penny whistles that go. Whoosh,
yeah, penny whistles. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Penny whistles.
So if you hear penny whistles in the background, it's not ghosts. It's my neighbor kids. And no matter how much I soundproof that side of my little studio, they find ways to cut right through it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I didn't notice my Richard Nixon is
see that up there.
My Richard Nixon mask is perfect.
We got to say thank you and hello to Chris Cummings, who jumped right into the Facebook chat, threw some stars at us to show his appreciation for for us going live tonight. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that, and make sure you have Apex Legends downloaded and your internet is working, because there is a game brewing in the next couple days that we're going to need you to jump in on. So just so you know.
Oh my God, you guys are insane.
Yeah, we are.
And thanks for the support. But I mean, it's not, thank you. It's much appreciated. This is and to everybody else that is supporting. And for those that are subscribers on Facebook, we've been uploading a lot of audio and a lot of stuff. We're trying to figure out what it is. And then for those that are not subscribers, once the subscribers kind of dissect it and we figure out what it is, we'll be putting it out on the public side. Some stuff we won't. If we debunk it, we'll just kick it. We'll just kick it to the trash can. But there is stuff going up. There's lots of audio up there. If you guys could help us go through it, we'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, it's there, and more stuff is going to be uploaded here soon.
So I want to say hi to Nikki Lynn, because Nikki Lynn said something in our Facebook chat that is so very true. Nikki said, "A stranger is a friend you haven't met yet." Those are very welcoming and friendly words. So thank you for bringing that kind of energy into our chat room, Nikki. That's very kind. Nancy wants to know what our recommended apps are. And I'm going to say right out that I haven't played with any of them because I'm kind of anti-app, but I need to. I need to try a few of them out. We've used.
It's always good to play with it at least once a day.
Yeah. Oh God. We've used the Phasma box quite a bit. We used because one of our investigators liked using the Phasma box, so we're kind of familiar with that. Chastity with Ghost Sisters likes this. What was it? Spirit Talker. I think that was the name of the one she uses.
Spirit Talker is one she's using.
So we have a little familiarity with that. You downloaded the Necrophonic. What the hell was it? Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris is just throwing stars everywhere. Look at that. Thank you.
I think what Chris is playing the game, he's trying to throw them at us and see if we feel it.
Yeah, probably.
It's like when we were in college, and well, I was never in college, but you would flick the beer caps at each other as you're walking across the room.
Boom, boom.
I think that's what he's doing.
I used to be really good at that.
I could draw blood.
Yeah,
that's how I used to be able to zing them.
That was pretty.
They didn't like it when I played.
That was a fun little game we used to play there. Hey, Erica, good to see you. We want to get you back out in the field with us again, so get ready for that text. That'll be coming soon, for sure. Yes. So I don't know, Britt, do you have can you make a recommendation of an app? I can't at this point.
I mean, no, I can't. But if you were to, this is what I would do if you're really looking for an app. Number one, I would do some DuckDuckGo searching. I'm pretty anti-Google, but some DuckDuckGo searching, maybe find some groups that are using them to see what's out there. Ideally, if you could find an app that's not made by Hasbro, or Hasbro, some big company,
something brothers.
You can find one that's
Hasbro is short for something brothers. I don't know what so Hasbro.
Yeah, of course.
Hasbro is a town. Hasbro is a town in Minnesota that we'll never visit.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you've been there once.
No, I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds like a town. Hasbro.
Okay. But if you could find one that's more like, I would reach out to the guys at Ghost Stop and see if they've made one, because those guys are truly into the paranormal. If you could find someone that's made an app that's truly into the paranormal, that's probably your best place to start.
Okay, I have to tell you something. And Britt and I have talked about apps a lot because of the controversy around them, and because that we kind of buck the trend. A lot of people are using them now, and we kind of buck the trend on it. Yeah. We've talked about, okay, let us sit down. Let us find out. Let's get whatever documents we need to get and find out exactly what sensors the iPhone and the Android phones have built in, and let's design some kind of ghost hunting app that legitimately just uses those sensors. Doesn't make up words, doesn't do any of that stuff, but legitimately uses the things that are inside those phones in a ghost hunting app. And we've talked about doing that, and we might still do that. Yeah, and
you know what? The fifth thing that the phones can do is it's vibration. The gyroscope that tells which way it's leaning, the gyroscope sense is very sensitive to vibration. So I would try and find a group that's truly into this, and they have a good track record of being honest, and they're not trying to get on a ghost show. And
you know what, you and I, this is another thing we've talked about when it comes to apps a lot, is that we were going to do these tests. We were going to take I'll call it a virgin iPad, for lack of a better way to describe it, that has not been turned on, hasn't got any time listening to our voices or any of that stuff. Install one of these apps, say Phasma Box or one of these apps, put it in a containment, an isolation containment where it can't hear any voices, not our voices, and then see what words it spits out. Does it still spit out the words, or suddenly does it not have anything to say because it's not hearing what we're saying? It's not picking up our words, our conversations. That's a really important experiment, I think. Hopefully we'll get to it first. We'll video it. We'll put it up for our subscribers first. But that'll tell us a lot.
Well, now that we've made some decisions and due to the support that we're getting from you guys out there, which we cannot thank you enough. You know, we were seriously considering shifting gears again, but now I think we're just going to go from, you know, first gear to second gear now instead of into neutral. So I'll start building that stuff and figuring that out now that we've kind of committed to continuing going. And that's due to the analyzing the numbers and the growth and where we're headed. And, you know, and that's to thank all of you guys that support us and watch us and share the show and smash that like. By the way, there's there's almost 100 people watching on Facebook, and there's only like 12 likes. So if you can smash that like button, I mean, that helps. That tells the algorithm to share the show, to spread the show. I mean, the best thing you can do is just share the show.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do for really any show that you like, whether it's a podcast, a video cast, this kind of stuff. The best thing you can do is share it. That's better than any advertising that JV and I can do or anybody can do with their shows. And so share, smash that like button. It all helps. And it tells the algorithm, oh, people are interested in this. We should share this more. And then we get more people. Because at the end of the day, come on, hit the button. At the end of the day, JV and I would like to do an investigation every weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. But that requires
live investigation.
Yeah, live investigation every weekend. And then we want to make some documentaries. So on this stuff, like really go, like some of the places go really deep and do like a 90-minute deep dissertation documentary on wherever we're at, and then, you know, present that out to you guys.
Yeah. For example, this Brownella Cottage, when we went there, we had no idea
oh my God.
what that was about. We just knew it was a cool place that had some reports of hauntings. And when we got there, we learned so much about Bishop Brown and his affiliation with the Communist Party. The fact
Bishop Brown.
The fact that he was tried and convicted of heresy and kicked out of the Episcopalian Church. Then he bought his way into a bishopship in the Catholic Church as a wandering bishop. This guy is fascinating, whether you agree with him or not.
And then he was a communist and Christian. How does that work?
A Christian who is saying, the subtitle of his book is "Remove Gods from the Skies and Capitalism from the Earth." I mean, this is a really fascinating story. And Britt and I are like, this needs to be a feature-length film with an investigation and all the backstory, all of this. We need to present it. And I hope I didn't just give the idea to somebody else to do it, because we're going to do it. We are committed to not only to do the live investigations, but we're going to do some of this long-form stuff too, which is why your support is so huge and critical in this effort, because we won't be able to do it without you. But these are stories that need to be told, and they're great investigations as well.
Yeah. Like the next one coming up the end of October.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And we're still doing our backstory research on that place, but it's basically we're going to an abandoned village.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Mandy is like, she's like, what, 4 for 4?
Mandy is amazing. She, not only does she know the places, but because she has, you know, she smiles and says the right words, and they all let her come and investigate. And she's now bringing us along, which is just absolutely fantastic, because you and I have faces for radio, and we start talking to people and they're like, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Talk to me later. Yeah. That's not always true. But.
Well, I'm actually pretty good at talking.
You know, you're good at talking. You're good at talking, for sure. For sure.
Just got to get past the radio face. But once I can start talking, like literally I rolled into Lowe's with my son this morning to get stuff, and I ended up talking for 45 minutes to the people in Lowe's.
And you can't figure out, you can't figure out why you don't have any extra time. You see the connection here? You're making the contacts there?
Yeah, I know. Okay. I like talking to people.
I know you do.
They was talking about the show because they asked how the investigations went.
I know you do.
Hey, because I go to that place all the time. And
hey, Amanda. Good to see you. We don't see enough of you, Amanda, but thanks for checking into YouTube for us. Always great to have you. We'll be in your neck of the woods at some point too, I think. That's down. I think Amanda's in Alabama. Is that where? If I remember correctly.
Alabama.
What's the Forrest Gump town? Greenbow, Alabama. What is it?
Alabama.
Yeah, but what's the name of the town? Is it Greenbow? I don't know.
I can't barely remember where I live.
Well, that's a good point. You've mentioned thanking people for a while here, and I just made a couple of notes. I know there's some people we missed during our live investigations that did some super chatting, that gifted some stars on Facebook, gifted some bits or cheers on Twitch, and I tried to go back and find those names, and I know I didn't get everybody, so please forgive me if I've missed yours. But if you keep doing that for us. We will see them, and we will thank you, because you deserve that public acknowledgement. But I do want to thank.
How do you?
What?
I just don't want to lose the chat in Facebook. How do you say that name? And Trisha? Is that Trisha?
Trisha Britton Welch.
Oh wow!
What were you going?
She's new here.
What were you going to say, Britt? What name were you? How were you going to pronounce that?
I was going with the long I. Tricia. Because I was trying to realize that Tracy, but there's no A, it's an I.
Listen,
I didn't realize Trisha was a C and not an SH.
Yeah, don't judge Britt too harshly. I mean, remember, this is the fellow who said Joe DiMaggio instead of Joe DiMaggio.
Have we? I think we've established this already, that words are my second language.
We have established that. Yes, Greenbow, Alabama. I was right. Didn't I say Greenbow? Is that the town I said?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Greenbow, Alabama.
And Trisha chimed in, and thank you, Trisha, for chiming in and confirming JV's ego that he was right again.
It wasn't my ego. I just wanted to know if I remembered it correctly, which I usually do. So I don't know why I doubt myself.
Yeah, I don't know either.
All right, let me thank these folks before we can move on.
These people.
So Tally Esports, thank you for cheering in Twitch during our last investigation. Big Hair Tsunami. Big Hair Tsunami is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time when it comes to supporting the show. Always super chatting, gifting subs. Isn't he what?
Isn't he out here in California somewhere?
I think so. Big Hair, if you're listening in one of the platforms, let us know where you are. I think you're in California. I think so. Thanks, Claire. We're having fun too. But Big Hair is not only gifting super chats on YouTube, but also gifting subs on Twitch. If you happen to be on the Twitch chat, sometimes Big Hair jumps in and just gives away a couple subs to people. Iowa Joe and Tally Esports and Yarndal all renewed their subs on Twitch. Thank you. And if you haven't renewed your sub and made your connection to Amazon Prime, please remember to do that on Twitch. On YouTube, a bunch of super chats from Big Hair Tsunami, Roseanne T, the 13th podcast, James and Roxy Geisler. I hope I pronounced the last name correctly. I think I did. So thank you to all those folks. And, of course, Chris Cummings and, oh, darn it, I didn't write it down. There's another name. I'm going to have to look and get it because I don't want to miss that. But Chris Cummings and a couple other folks sending stars during the broadcast of the Your Shrine, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for the subscriptions as well on Facebook. That helps so much. It's less than a cup of coffee, and yet it really helps us do what we're trying to do and what we love doing. So thank you to everybody.
And what we want to do a lot more of, ideally, would be amazing. And we want to do it without the overlords of a network.
Exactly.
So that we can do what we want to do.
Yeah,
which is what you guys want us to do.
I'm looking for this name quickly, so you can go ahead and chat, and when I find it, I'll let you know.
All right. Yeah, and again, keep smashing that like button. That helps us a lot. Share the show. So some of the things I would like to see from you guys, so we know what to do, is if you can. I mean, I know a lot of you don't do Facebook, but our Facebook is open for anybody. You don't even have to have an account. You can get on there and see it. But we really need to know what you guys want to see us do. We're always asking during the investigation, hey, chime in and chat. What do you want us to do? But that helps us so much. If you guys can, if you see something, send it in. Or right now that we're kind of down, like if you have a thought process of a investigative technique that you would like to see, you can post it public on chat on Facebook on the board, or you can DM us direct. We would love that. We're always looking for new equipment, new ideas. So if you're watching one of the other shows and we're not, Nazis like this, that you can only watch us, we don't care. Watch them all. Just make sure you do watch us, but you can watch them all. But if you see something cool on another show that they're using, a piece of equipment, a technique, definitely please point it out to us, because we want to basically, I think we all want that answer. We want that come to Jesus moment. We want to have that conversation with the other side. And I think if we all kind of pull all of our talents together, we might be able to get to that answer type of thing. Did anybody that's in chat that's watching us now, did any of you guys see the Dragon Table session when Tyler got called out and the K2s were going on and off and all that craziness that happened there. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were watching, and I've seen some people say, you know, everything's going off at once. It must be a radio type of thing. I just want to have a conversation around what we're doing as a team and what we know. I mean, we have what you guys don't see is when we're setting stuff up, we do a lot of tests with our walkie-talkies, and the walkie-talkies we have found, this particular set of walkie-talkies that we use, because they're all a little different. It has a certain cadence that it'll flash the K2s. It has a certain cadence that it'll ring the REM pods, and it also hits everything at once. So you'll see sometimes when we'll go, no, that was a walkie-talkie. We can just know by the way the stuff bounces. What's really, really, really interesting is one, which is why I put out every K2 we have, every REM pod we have, is if we can get a K2 to go off on one end and not the other end. Or what I love the most is when the K2 or REM pod in the center of an equipment cluster goes off. That's amazing. That is something interesting. That is some kind of manipulation of the device by something that is not affecting the whole room, which our walkie-talkies do affect the whole room all the time. They're pretty aggressive on the equipment. So for those of you that are watching and going, no way. Number one, no. I do the same thing. No way. Every time it hits right on. Like when I said fuck you to the machine, when the app said I am the protector, and then the spirit box said I am the protector, and I stood up and pointed at it and said F you to the machine. That happens, and that is amazing. And that's not our walkie-talkies. We know we work on that. We work on that knowledge. We test stuff. Sometimes I'm in my garage and I'm trying to figure out, like your phones. Like if you're on Verizon, it will only affect your piece of equipment if you're pretty close to it. If you're on AT&T or T-Mobile, it'll affect the equipment across the room when it's pinging the tower. And the reason that is Verizon, when you first turn your phone on, it'll ping out at 100% power to find where the tower is at. And then it'll have the distance, and then it'll back off the amount of energy it has to put into pinging to know where it's at so that it saves battery life. AT&T and T-Mobile don't do that. It just pings at 100% all the time. So if you're running AT&T and T-Mobile, you probably need to shut your phones down. Verizon, you don't necessarily have to because it knows. However, the ping has a definite signature with the way it flashes the lights. These are things that JV and I and, you know, other teams like Mandy, who we experiment with this stuff, and we try to figure it out so that when we're doing something and all of a sudden the K2 goes off, and if it's that familiar cadence of a walkie-talkie, it's like, okay, that was a walkie-talkie. We won't say anything about it. But if it's something unique and different, like what we were getting at the Eura Shrine, like when Mandy was she'd sit on the fucking coffin, and the thing would go off. She'd get up and walk away, it would go away. You know, that was the weirdest thing ever.
And she did it after we took all the devices out of her pockets. She didn't have her phone on her.
Yeah.
She didn't have the walkie-talkie. She had nothing. She did it, and it was still reacting the same way. That's hard to explain.
Yeah. And then that REM pod that was at the door.
Yeah.
It was only going crazy when we were in there. And then when we transitioned to the dragon table or the witches area or anywhere else, it all stopped. And then it didn't go off. Why is that? That was weird.
Yeah.
So just know, guys, that we do try to really understand and know how our equipment works and what affects our equipment and how it affects it. Because at the end of the day, we never want to go to a client and present something that's not accurate.
Is that going to be your new phrase that everybody's using at the end of the day? I just want to be prepared for it. I just want to be prepared for it.
It's not working.
Yeah, well, it is, because I've tried to figure out if you're doing it intentionally or you just picked up another catchphrase. I'm just not sure.
No, I'm doing it.
While I've got these names, I want to thank these folks who I had forgotten not that I forgot their names. I just didn't write them down, so I didn't have them in front of me. Todd, who is a member of the Danger Zone Paranormal, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to say Todd Coco, because the first part of it is Coco. Todd Coco, always sending stars and supporting the program, commenting on our posts. And thank you very much, Todd, for doing that. It was great investigating with you when we did at the Bailey Seton Hospital. Look forward to investigating with you and your team again. Jackie Steinmeier, thank you for your star contribution on Facebook during our live investigations. And then just sit there and look pretty on Twitch. Thank you for the contribution of the bits, the cheering on Twitch, always helpful. Now, I've been neglecting the Twitch chat a little bit here tonight because there was so much going on in the other chat. So I want to back up and catch up. First of all, Heather has joined us in the Twitch chat. Heather, of course, the fiance of Rob, who has investigated with us several times. A great guy. In fact, we're looking forward to having dinner with Rob when we head out to the St. Louis area for an investigation coming up here in October. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Arkansas Justin says, have you all addressed the Panasonic DR60 and its ability to work when other recorders don't? Seems like if it was real, other companies would jump on it too.
Was that it?
That's one
For
question.
Twitch?
No, there's more. I was
Okay.
just want to see if you want to answer that question. I don't really have an answer. I don't know enough about the handheld recorders. I haven't used a lot of them. I've got these.
when you're Oh, those are old school.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So there's two theories with recorders. I mean, so so recorders are meant for dictation. So the companies that make the recorders, if they can eliminate out any of the any of the sounds that are above the human ear or below the human ear, particularly in the range where the humans talk, if they can filter out those sounds, it's less data dropping onto the memory chip. Therefore, they can then go, on our recorder, you can go for 6.5 hours straight because they filter out all the bunch of stuff. Which for us, we want all that extra noise. We want that range. So if you have the money, the best way to go is get full spectrum sound recorders. And I think that I've seen them as low as $100 now. But the really good ones are about $300. The bottom line is the widest frequency range of sound that you can, stop it with the whatnot. The widest frequency of range that you can record is what you want. Same thing with video cameras. If you can dive down into the UV range and go up into the IR, ideally you want to go as deep into the UV range as you can. For whatever reason, whenever I use or been around UV cameras, Andy Kopic has a UV camera that goes really deep into the UV. That's where a lot of the activity is. And UV is a really fast wave. If you look at it on a wave spectrum, the IR is a little bigger, or actually gets to be a lot bigger, which is above what the human eye can see. UV is below. If you can get down to that, that's ideal. But the widest frequency range you can record on anything is what you want. Little filters as possible so that you're throwing the biggest net, and then you go back and you listen to it. So that's my
Arkansas says that these Panasonic DR60s sell for thousands on eBay. Thousands.
The what?
The Panasonic DR60s.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that everybody wants because it has no filter. For whatever reason, it had no filters on it. Do you have another question? Because I saw that Erica asked a question.
Yeah, go ahead with that, and then I'll continue on the Twitch. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. She's asking about a piece of equipment that creates a high vibration frequency to draw energy to it, like a battery for spirits use, similar to a medium. And then Nancy, right below that was, have we ever used a Tesla coil? So they do make stuff. It's called an EM pump. It just pumps out frequency energy into the area around it. And the idea is that hopefully the spirit world can grab that energy, harness it, and use it. And again, I don't know if that works, or does it work? Does it not work? I don't know. I haven't used the EM pumps that much to have a solid theory or idea on whether they work or not. They're worth using and trying, but there are devices like that. The Tesla coils, another thing, the big arcing thing that goes up, like think Young Frankenstein, something like that. Again, that's energy that's blasting out. I mean, can the spirit world harness that and use it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but it's worth doing. Plus, it looks cool as hell. But yeah, Erica, there is equipment that does that.
I have spiders descending on me from the ceiling. Just so if you're wondering why, I'm looking.
I thought you were talking to God.
No, just spiders. Hi,
You wonder if a lightning bolt was going to rain down.
Hi, Rank One Gladiator. Good to see you in Twitch. So Heather also went on to say Rob used the Phasma box in airplane mode in a remote cemetery where there was no service, and he pointed to a headstone and asked the name on it, and it nailed it. He never let it on, just pointed and asked for the name. Okay, interesting. But I'm gonna suggest that airplane mode doesn't cut off your microphone. Airplane only cuts off sending out cellular signal, Wi-Fi if you want it to, and Bluetooth if you want it to. It doesn't prevent the device from listening. So,
right. So if he said the name, it could be there. But if he just walked straight into a random cemetery and went, "What's the name right there?" and it spit out the name, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But if we want to go down the conspiratorial route, does it have GPS location?
And it knows every grave, and it knows every grave on the country based on GPS coordinates. Maybe that would be impressive.
Well, but think about it. When we were when I go out and I do the celebrity gravestone EVP sessions, it's a GPS product, that app that I just put the name in and it goes, but it's right here, Lake Forest.
That's true. That's true.
Sharon Stone or whatever.
Sharon Stone,
not Stone.
She didn't die.
I don't know why I said
Sharon Tate.
Yeah, thank you. Or whoever. So I mean, is it possible? Yes, but again, if he marched out there, didn't say a thing, and said, "What's the name of that tombstone?" and it spits out, Jack Smith, and it's accurate. That's pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, Heather went on to say he was testing it, and that was recorded with a recorder too. He was very leery, but that made him think there was something to it. Again, as Britt said,
okay.
if the name was never mentioned and it spit it out, impressive. If someone in the group or Rob himself had said the name before asking the question at some point, then you have to take it with a grain of salt. That's my position on that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell a little story about the ITC stuff, the all those equipment stuff in general. So when I was on Ghost Hunters and we were doing the Stanley Hotel events, so that's how long ago this was. 15-ish years ago. The Frank Sumption Spirit Box came out, the inventor of the Spirit Box. And then another guy, Dave Chappelle, I think was his name, was like, God, if Frank can make that thing, if Frank and Dave were friends, so it was like this friendly barbing rivalry. Like if Frank can make that thing, I can make a better Magic 8-Ball. And he made the Ovulus, which is the random word generator. There's a dictionary in the thing, and then if the spirit world manipulates the EMF to a certain number, it'll spit out words and yada yada yada. That was the whole thought. I thought it was all poppycock. I thought that was just stuff you put. It belongs in the rubbish can. It's a doorstop. It's a trick. It's snake oil. Until we were doing, I got stuck in the Stephen King room with 25 people, and someone had a spirit box in there. I'm sorry, I had the Frank Sumption type box in there, and it was a spirit box and then an Ovulus in the room. We had Adam Bly there, who's a demonologist. That's a whole other story. He brings in some crazy stuff. The spirit box and the Ovulus had a conversation in front of me and 25 people. And it was saying like, fuck Adam Bly, kill Adam Bly, we're going to get you. And it was going back and forth, talking to each other. And it was that moment that I was like, what is this all about? And then at the same time, I'm texting Adam Bly going, dude, there's something in here and it's cussing and threatening you. And then all of a sudden everything went crickets. And then there was a knock at the door. I opened the door and Adam Bly was standing right there. And he walked in and said, what's going on? Everybody's screaming. We had a drawer open and it hit somebody in the back of the arm. And she screamed like a banshee, which made me shit myself. It was a whole thing. And people still tell this story to this day. It was that amazing. And then we told Adam, he goes, I'm going to do an experiment. And then he left. And all of a sudden, the thing started talking. It was a conversation back and forth again. It was, what the hell is this all about? Blah, 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 blah. And then he came back, knocked on the door. Everything went quiet. He came in. At that time, it was time to rotate. And I had 7 minutes before the next group showed up. So I'm sitting on the bed, chilling. Adam Bly pulls this thing out of his coat, like parchment paper, opens it up, and he's like, mumbling, and he's standing right over the spirit box thing. And underneath this parchment paper, I witnessed this black mist ball just materialize about the size of a cat. It shot off the dresser down to the ground into the bathroom, and as it went through the bathroom, it knocked all the little soaps off the sink. It went ping, 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 bouncing all over in there and gone. And of course, I'm shitting Twinkies, and without skipping a beat, Adam Bly looks over at me and goes, "Did you see that?" I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And he was like, "It was meant for you to see." And he went back to he was doing a little mini exorcism. And then that room was cricket the rest of the nights. The rest of the night, not a single damn thing happened in that room. And the next 3 groups were really bored, and it was really tough on me. So my whole point to that whole story, that night is when I went from all this ITC stuff, all this poppycock, to there's something to it. The spirit world's figuring out how to use it. There's a way to use it. My only caveat to all of using all this equipment is it has to make sense to what you're investigating, the questions you're asking, and the answers you're getting. It all makes sense. If you're asking questions about a specific thing and it's way off in left field and random shit's happen and it ain't making sense, just throw all that away. So there we go. Long-winded story to say there's something to it.
Yeah, nice story. It was a good story.
Oh, shut up.
What are you being mean for?
Shut up.
Why are you being so angry? And by the way, if you didn't,
because I can be.
Parchment paper is translated to parchment paper in Brit speak.
Thank you,
just so everybody knows.
Thank you. So Memphis Ghost Hunter said he's disagreeing about the AT&T phone. It only lights up when it's damn near on top of the K2. So I haven't done the AT&T phone testy thing in probably 10 years. When I
could have changed
towards the end. Yeah, so things could have changed. So
also phones have changed. Maybe they
yeah.
Are you talking about an iPhone versus an Android? Maybe they're different. Who knows?
Yeah. So everything I did was on an iPhone because that's just what I had. So so maybe that could be. So I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die on that mountain arguing because I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time, and maybe we should do it again. And then the DDR again, Memphis Ghost Hunters, the DDR60 that people are paying thousands of dollars for, he's saying is junk. And me personally, I prefer the full spectrum sound recorders because basically that's what the DDR is. It just has no parameters on what it's going to let in. Right. It's not quite full spectrum, but the microphone is cheaper. You get the nicer ones like the H2s or the any of them that are in that bank are pretty good. It's just clearer audio, and hopefully you can make it out. But if you have it, use it. Yeah. I've heard some great stuff come off of it. So
I apologize for being so late in responding to some of these Twitch comments. Like I said, we were busy in the other chat rooms and just didn't get here quickly enough. But Arkansas, if you're still with us, you asked about a preferred platform that you can support that'll help us better. I'm going to be honest. Right now, it's Facebook. Facebook has the best tools for people to support the program and for most of that support, if not all of that support, to come to us to actually help us. That's Facebook. The other platforms take a big chunk of it. They don't make it necessarily easy. For example, YouTube doesn't allow people to subscribe when they should because our channel qualifies for it, but they just haven't given us that switch, that on and off switch yet. And Twitch is as good as Twitch can be at times. They take, I think it's like 50% of what people contribute there. So yeah, if the answer to that is Facebook at this point. But honestly, honestly, anywhere you're comfortable, wherever you like spending your time is the better option because, you'll get the benefit out of it because that's where you like to spend your time. And the idea here is that you get some benefit out of it while you're helping us.
Right. So Memphis also says that the EM pump is basically just 2 magnets spinning, so it's not creating energy. When I say energy, I'm not necessarily talking about you get shocked energy that comes from the power plant energy type energy. Just energy. Energy is the proverbial whatever the spirit can use to do what it's going to do. So,
well,
yes,
no,
I do know
I think you read that incorrectly, Britt, because this says EM pump is basically 2 magnets spinning together, and it does create energy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I read that as doesn't. But I still stand by what I'm saying. The energy is whatever the spirit world can use.
Yeah.
So.
Well, magnetic energy. Yeah. Magnetic energy is energy. Static electricity or any kind of electrical energy is energy. Heat is energy. That's why cold spots will appear. There's a lot of energy takes a lot of form. Light is energy. Energy will take a lot of forms. And we're still learning how
gas is energy.
Well, gas is potential energy. we're still learning. We're still learning about what types of energy are best used to affect the outcomes when we're investigating. And I don't know that anybody has the real answers, but we got to keep experimenting with it.
And Carol called me a hoot and a half.
Well,
I want to be 2 hoots. I don't want no half.
Are you really a hoot and a half? Sometimes I think you're. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Wait till I'm a little buzzed. Then I'm a whole lot of fun.
Oh boy.
But I can't get drunk anymore because then I have a 4-day hangover because old age sucks ass. I've never understood why God wastes youth on the young.
So Heather says that when Rob did that experiment with the Phasma box and it spit the name out of the person's gravestone, Heather says he did not say the name. So if that's the case, that is really impressive, Heather. Sad, and I don't know if you've got that on video, that whole sequence, because the sad thing about it is right now it's just an anecdote. And I would love to see the whole thing play out so I could say, wow,
we have the evidence.
With 100% certainty, we can we can show other people, look, you want your answers to whether the Phasma box works? Watch this. But that's great. I mean, it's anecdotal information is good information too. It's just you can only share it through your words, and people have to take your word for it, and that makes it a little less able to be shared.
Claire Green on Facebook is asking, have you investigated outside of the U.S.? Now, I've investigated in 13 foreign countries when I was on Ghost Hunters International. So I've done quite a bit outside of the country, which is interesting in and of itself. I mean, I've investigated in the castle that Shakespeare stayed in to get the inspiration for Hamlet. I walked down alleys in Germany that were built before Jesus Christ was even born. So I've been around some old stuff, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. I haven't investigated those places, but I've been to Europe 8 times, spent months over there at a time, and love every second of it. And now that I'm in the last 20 years have gotten very, very heavily into the paranormal stuff, I'd love to go back and revisit some of those places from that perspective. Yeah,
it was a trip.
Yeah, Arkansas, if you're not comfortable supporting Zuckerberg, don't do it on Facebook. I appreciate that for us. Yeah.
Here's the thing though. The $4.99 subscription, which is the only price you can do there, Facebook gives it all to us. They do not take a cut.
It's true.
It's the only platform that does not take a cut.
Which is really surprising.
It's interesting.
Honestly, it's very, very surprising.
He's selling our information.
Yeah.
But they're all selling our information.
Well, also we're providing a lot of free content for Facebook. So
that's true too.
And it's good. It's good content. We're working hard at it. So I'd like to see the old castles. Yeah, castles are really cool. Let's see what else do anything else you want to address in any of these other chats? I got to check out YouTube here. I haven't been.
Yeah, I can only look at Facebook because that's
okay. Here's some good questions. Let's see, Scooter. Let's see, Amanda. If y'all come to Alabama, let's get drunk and walk to the old Bryce Hospital. That's the Bryce Hospital. I don't know what the Bryce Hospital is, but by the name of it, it sounds like a really good place to investigate. Have you heard of the Bryce Hospital?
Why do you want to get us drunk in there?
Yeah, why, Amanda? Why do you want to do that?
I don't know if I trust Scooter for that.
No, not Scooter. It was Amanda that said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll get drunk with Amanda. Scooter, I'm a little worried about.
Hey, Mary Grace, what's your question? I'm scrolling through this chat, so if you've asked it, I'll find it here in just a second. I can't think of anything you guys haven't done or at least tried to do. Thanks, Turbo Turtle. I think there probably are a lot of things that we haven't done, but we don't focus on those. We talk about the things we have done. Scooter's seen a fogger used. Do you think they're effective? You ever use a fogger?
I mean, again, who is anybody to say don't use this? Make sure you use that.
Right. I
mean, unless it's been experimented with extensively and ruled out. But I don't think, and I've seen the fog method used. I mean, it's definitely a way to see air currents move, especially if you have a laser grid going through it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you have one, I mean, definitely use it, experiment with it, document it, and then, you should post about it.
Right.
I mean, you're more than welcome to post on our page about it. We'll definitely, let you guys do that.
Mary Grace.
Because the more, go ahead.
Go ahead. You just got to not put pauses in there because I think you're done.
I'm sorry. I was just, I mean, it's the way my brain works. My mouth runs faster than my brain, so it's got
So
to
your
wait.
brain has to catch up to your mouth.
Yeah, basically, which is what causes the pauses. But if you guys take the time to set a fogger up and and video it and whatnot, and don't hit the button. Video, yeah. What? Yeah, look at you. Look, you can't find it.
It's been too long since I've been in the studio. I found it.
And if you put the, if you type up a little dissertation of what you experiment, what you found, we'll absolutely post it.
Sure.
Because if it works, we want to use it.
Mary Grace's question was about the short EVP clip on the subscribers hub, where Britt asked the question. You guys are listening to it through his mic. Would it be clear if we were to listen to it from the original recording? The answer to that question is absolutely. We just have not figured out a way to expedite during a live investigation that file from the recorder to a digital format that we can play on the stream directly. We just haven't. We just don't have the staff for that yet. Because if we did, we'd hand the recorder off to a staff member who would run it to the command center, download it into the computer, and we'd be able to listen to it in real time in digital quality. We just aren't there yet. We know what has to be done. Your help. And I don't mean you specifically, Mary Grace. I'm talking about people who subscribe and cheer and super chat and all those things. That's the type of thing we're trying to get to. So all of that help will help us get there.
Yeah. And Mary Grace, the file, I think I uploaded the raw files, one of the burst EVPs. I think it says burst EVP JV Britt Misty Room. I think that is the one that is also on the audio on the camera.
Okay, so
it's there for you to
So Mary Grace was talking about in the review part, not during the live playback.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I understand better now.
Yeah, she's talking about because it's up in the subscriber area.
Got it.
And just so you guys know, for the people that watch our live stream, it's basically 4 or 5 of us. It's me, James, JV, Tyler, this last go around, and Riley. The time before that, it was JV, Alex, me, and Tyler. I mean, we run this we set it up, we run it, we break it down. It's just 4 or 5 of us at most that are making this go on.
Of course, we have investigative help, and they always help carry stuff around from like Ghost Sisters and some other people that we collaborate with for sure.
Yes,
but the crew
but it is a shoestring crew right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when it's like that, we don't. Because I mean, I would love to. Like when the sisters and I were in, I think we're downstairs, and it was like What Dog?
Yeah, you were in the music room.
I would have loved to have. Yeah, I would have loved to have run that. Had someone run that back, drop that on, and then we could. You guys out there could hear the raw file because that was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
so,
we just have to make sure our investigators, and I'm going to pick on Mandy a little bit, do not delete files.
Yes, do not
Mandy.
delete the files.
Mandy.
No deletion.
Just picking
Not until
on
we can download it at least.
Yeah. Let's see. Turbo Turtle wants to know if we do major research before or after you do the investigation. We do limited research, at least for me. I do limited research before we go into the investigation. I don't want to know too much, but I want to kind of have an understanding of what we're going to. I want to know why the building might have paranormal activity. I want to know how long it's been there. I want to know what was there before it. I want to know if there was any major tragedies like a fire. Did the building get destroyed by fire at some point and rebuilt? I want the basics. Beyond that, I want the information to come to me from a paranormal perspective, and then I can verify it later if I have the opportunity to. That's the way I like to approach it. Psychics do it very, very differently. I'm not psychic, so I don't have to be burdened with the idea that I actually might get information through my sensitivities like that. I just don't. So that's the way I approach it, Britt.
Yeah, I don't. I want to know as much as I can. I am the polar opposite of most people. I don't want to know. I want to know everything. There's something to watch. I want to know. So when I roll in, I know what to fucking ask because it's about getting to the point instead of wandering around in the wilderness. So I think with our team, the way we have it set up, the psychics don't want to know anything. JV somewhere in the middle wants to know a little, and I want to know it all. So between all that, I think we got the bases covered.
I was just typing absolutely, Nikki, in our Facebook chat because Nikki says I think it'd be interesting to visit the Alamo. That's another great place. That'd be really, really cool. Did Ghost Hunters go there? No, I thought
No.
Did somebody go there? I thought
we went adjacent to the. We went adjacent. We did a hotel.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the Alamo wouldn't let us in. I mean, they gave us a tour.
Yeah.
A great, behind the scenes type tour type thing, which was cool. But yeah, the Order of the Sisters or whatever that group is called that manages it.
Yeah.
They're all really old at the time when we were there, and they didn't want anything to do with the dead because I think they were really close to death themselves.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, I guess.
So
Iowa wants to know what's the best way to clean up audio after doing an EVP session. Iowa, there's no one way. That's the problem, because if you use one way,
there's this product called Bleach Pit that you use, and it just cleans all the audio.
Whoa, and it also knock your mic over. No, there's no one way, Iowa, because if you use the wrong tool on any given cut, you may cut the thing out that you're listening for. So you need to listen to the audio the way it is, and then you just try various things. Like Britt and I were fooling around with a cut not long ago, and there was this rumble below it, which was obscuring other things that we thought we heard. And so you put a high pass filter on it and just find the frequency where the rumble ends to cut the rumble out. Then you listen again, and then you might hear something you didn't hear before. Or you go the other way. You put a low pass filter on it and get rid of the upper end and listen to the lower part. And you try different things on every cut to try to pull things out that you couldn't hear because of the other things going on. If you use effects on it, you can create anomalies of your own that are artifacts from the digital process, and you may distort the evidence. That's probably the safest way, is just to experiment with different filters, and don't just use one, use them all, and listen to the cut repeatedly.
Yes, and Erica is 100% right. I am a Gemini, and I want to know everything. I mean, I might not do anything with the info, but I want to know.
Well, the thing about you, though, the beautiful thing about Britt, the way you absorb information, is that you don't absorb it. So every time you go to you go back to the same place, it's like a whole new learning experience for you because you forgot it from the last time.
I'm telling you, I'm like a goldfish. It's just a little bigger aquarium than what a goldfish is.
The fish bowl's a little bigger here. That's all.
It's a little bigger. I can retain it for a little while.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's not pertinent to me, it's out the door it goes.
Yeah. Even things that are pertinent tend to leave. How many times what was it today? You asked me something today. I'm like, oh my God, Britt, we've talked about this 7 times already. What do we? I can't remember what it was, but there was something.
Thank God you have a memory.
Yeah, that's true. Thank God I do have one. Let's see here. Amanda says that it's very haunted. So it must be talking about that hospital she mentioned.
Oh, okay. All right. And Memphis also brought up, Memphis is getting a lot of call outs tonight. He says, slow them down, speed them up, the EVPs. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
There's there are times when you think you'll hear something and you speed it up and it'll pull it together and it'll form a word. Mm-hmm. Or slow it down, vice versa.
And so the key is
always make sure you have the original file somewhere saved so you don't fuck it up.
Right. So the key is, and Memphis is adding to that, try a bunch of different things on the same file, not necessarily all together, one at a time, and you may hear something. You'll definitely hear some difference, but you may hear something that you're listening for that you couldn't hear previously because something else was covering it up. So you got to experiment with the files itself. There's not really one way to do it. Who else here? I don't know. There's a lot of comments in here. You guys are really, really engaging us tonight. That's terrific. I love all this. I just can't keep up with it. I'm also losing my voice. What is it about these streams that I keep losing my voice?
It's the spiders that are in there that are attacking you.
They're making me lose my voice? Yeah. Nikki wants to know if we take any mediums with us. Yeah, we do. Actually, we're right now we're in the process. I'm going to tell a little story, and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to mention any names. So we put a post on our Facebook page recently saying, does anybody know of any mediums in the St. Louis area? Because we're coming to do an investigation. I didn't put this in the post, but this is the reason we put it there, is we're coming to the St. Louis area. We've got Mandy from Ghost Sisters. She's going to be with us. She's a fantastic medium and a psychic, but we like to get other people too. So we have
Mandy likes to drive really far.
And Mandy will go, she'll drive all over the country. She's
got ghosts, will travel.
She is so passionate about this, which is terrific. But anyway, so we're looking to bring somebody else in for that one investigation to try to get another perspective. Because we like to do that, especially we're in an area that's we haven't been in before. So I put a post up. Anybody know any media or psychics in the St. Louis area? And we had a person reply to us, and the person said, "Hey, I'm in the St. Louis area," and I said, "Okay, great. We're looking for somebody to accompany us on investigation. It's us, the Ghost Sisters, and we want another perspective, and we'll be filming it for our TV show." And so that was yesterday, and that all happened around noontime. And then I didn't get back into our Facebook messages until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And this person was pissed off because I hadn't replied to their reply and said, "Never mind, forget it," and blocked us. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I just didn't get back into the messages to reply to you yet. I'm sorry. And I wanted to say I was sorry that I didn't reply quickly, but I have other things I'm doing, especially on a Sunday. And, but I was blocked, so I couldn't do it. So the heck with it. But anyway, so to answer your question, Nikki, yes, we absolutely bring people in, and we've got a great working relationship with the Ghost Sisters. And like I said, Mandy is a terrific medium. In fact, you can find her information about her readings and stuff on Facebook as well. But
also,
we do
Erica.
And Erica, great. Yeah, we've worked with Erica once. We're looking forward to working with her again. She's a terrific psychic medium as well. So we've worked, and we had Christine from Mountain Magic Healing Studio when we did the Nags investigation.
I can't believe that's never. She got to get a simpler name.
I know, it's way too complicated. But anyway, she was great.
Well,
so we've worked with a lot of great ones.
And then we had also Bloody Disgusting.
Oh, that's right. Steve Barton and Danielle Martin. Steve Barton, Danielle Martin.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Barton and Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great. Matter of fact, we should reach out. We need to have them out again.
We absolutely will. They brought a really interesting perspective to the Bird Mansion investigation we did in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania. That was terrific too. Thank you, Chris, for saying we don't need the negative energy. That's the way I felt. I'm like, I'm glad this kind of worked out this way, because had we agreed to collaborate, it may have been counterproductive. When somebody has that kind of attitude, it's like, why? I don't understand what you're all pissed off about here, but okay.
I think we have enough between Erica, Mandy, the Barton and Martin team, and I think we should just bring all of them.
Pam Harris wants to know if she wants to know if the Ura Shrine was the most intriguing place we've ever been to. And I'm assuming you mean from a paranormal perspective and investigating. And I'll go first, and I'll just say that I have never been. I think it's in Britt's top 3. It's probably my top. It's probably number 1 for me as far as the quantity of activity and the consistency of the activity. Now, I've seen apparitions before. I didn't see an apparition at the Ura Shrine, so it's probably not my most striking instant encounter. But as far as the amount of activity and the consistency and the responsiveness of all the activity, I'd say it's if it's not number 1, it's number 2. It's right up there. Britt?
Yeah, top 3. I mean, Old City Jail, which I did on Ghost Hunters. You can watch that one where Hagar got attacked. That one, the Ura Shrine. And there was one I did before Ghost Hunters was even on the air. In Tehachapi, California, that was really my come to Jesus moment. To that, there's some weird shit going on. So yeah, I mean, but they're all pretty equal. So they're all like one, really, if you really wanted to articulate it out. I just had a news flash: Democratic congressman carjacked in downtown Washington D.C.
Oh my God!
I love it when the politicians reap what they've sown.
Yeah. That's funny.
On either side, for those that are going, he's a Democrat. I don't care. I just love it.
Yeah. Maybe it's justice. It's a form of justice. Hey, Colleen, good to see you. D, we don't see enough of you anymore. Of course, we don't do this off as much as we should anymore. Have you ever visited the one in California? Did you mention one in California?
The Tehachapi one. Have I ever revisited it? No. The people moved, I believe, and that was 25 years ago now.
Chris, you got the idea. Chris just wrote in the Facebook chat, blame Britt. And absolutely, you're catching on quickly, Chris. I love it.
What the hell, Chris? What did I do wrong? Just because I don't play games.
Well, you do. You used to.
I die. I don't play.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Iowa knows. We all used to play. We used to play. You, me, and Iowa Joe used to play some good Warzone.
Let me give you people. Here's how it works. I'm dead, guys. I'm dead. They come back and revive me. I'm down again, guys. Okay. Their whole battle plan is trying to figure out how to keep me alive.
Yes, but you know what happens over time? You get better and you figure it out.
I don't.
You do. You did. You actually did. You actually were getting better. I remember when you got your first kill in Warzone. It was like we had a party basically.
No, it was our first win.
No, well, with that too. But you got I remember when you got your first kill. It was like 10 Christmases all put into one.
Yeah, I probably shot a 4-year-old.
Regardless, you got your
how
first
bad is
kill.
that guy?
You got yeah.
Or another yeah.
You have to start somewhere.
I just don't have time. I wish I had the time to sit, but
you and I
live my life
used to play.
Properly.
Remember though, you and I used to play till like 3 a.m. Remember those days?
Oh my God.
That wasn't that long ago.
Oh.
We'd do a show and then we go up and we'd play and play till like 3 or 4 a.m. I don't know how you did that actually.
It was rough, but I did it. But now I have, back then I didn't have to make as much money as I do now because now I travel everywhere and I bring, 2 crew members with me that I pay for.
Right.
And I have lawnmowers and I just blew up my motor yesterday at the practice track, which is going to hurt. So now I have to work. I don't get to sit still and play games.
Amanda wants to know if we've ever done an investigation where we've heard ghosts make sexual noises.
Yes, we did on the Ghost Hunters. We did a show that was at one of the Westerns when they were out here on the West Coast, and it was a brothel, and we had EVPs that literally sounded like sex happening, and the network wouldn't let us use them.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. I could see that in 1985, but in 2010, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. Huh.
I have not. I have not had that. I have not had that experience. And then, I love Slactastical's perspective here about putting the blame. It's always Britt until proven otherwise. And it's usually always Britt. Oh, it's so perfect. It is perfect.
Let's see. DL Mullen in Facebook asks, have you ever seen something you could not explain, like a cryptid? My general answer to everything I have experienced is it's something I can't explain. No one has gone across and got the book for the recently departed and come back with it. We don't know what we're dealing with. Is it Uncle Fred hanging out in the basement? Is it aliens observing us and screwing with us? Is it other life forms that we just blend every now and then? I don't know. All I know is I've seen shit I can't explain. That's how I approach all of this.
So Memphis says, I'm sorry. See, I always think you're done, and then you just trail on. It's like, come on.
Well, it's this little delay we have that's killing us.
That might be it too. Yeah. Memphis says he still plays Warzone. Well, there we go. We got another team member, Britt. And Erica says she used to play Destiny 2 all the time. I used to play Destiny 2. My son and I played that a lot. It got really repetitive. It was just really boring. It was kind of cool in the beginning, and then it just was like repetitive and boring. It was like the same missions over and over again. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of we lost interest in it, sadly. We play Apex Legends mostly now, but I'm certainly still into playing some Warzone. So Memphis, we'll have to put that together. We'll have to have a Paranormal Investigators Warzone squad. That's what we'll do.
Yeah,
I haven't played Warzone in a long time. Haven't played Warzone in a while.
I play putting motors together now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
That's what I get to play.
Yes, you do.
Which is why my hands are all dirty.
Oh, let's see. There was something else I wanted to comment on that I saw here. Nikki's a medium as well. Nikki, where are you based? Where are you based? You have to let us know where you are. Yeah, so maybe we can collaborate at some point. Actually, I went there and it is haunted. I'm not sure. Where are you talking about, Colleen? I missed it. I went to school at Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey, Illinois. It's called Lewis and Clark Community, and it's right across the river from St. Louis. Oh, okay. All right. I vote blame Britt for everything. Good, Iowa. You're on board. Like it.
I like Chris is putting lawnmower tractors in the chat for me. I do race this weekend, Saturday.
Good.
Hopefully I don't die.
Yeah. Well,
but if I die, JV, I swear to God, I'm going to haunt the fuck out of you.
Well, I've already decided.
All you're going to hear is lawnmowers at night.
Okay. Well, I've decided I'm going to take a life insurance policy out on you. And, you know, they call that key man insurance, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was actually just looking at life insurance 2 days ago, just because, you know, I'm at the age now, and I can get it now, and it's still cheap enough.
Yeah,
a couple, $3-4 a month type of thing. I figure, you know,
Slacktastical. If you grab Apex, let us know. I'm serious about we could even have a lobby where we could just have our own little paranormal group game going. That'd be fun.
Has Nikki responded with where she's from?
Let's see here. Let's see. I want to play.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you Nikki, you play Call of Duty as well? Well, we got several squads brewing here. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, I don't see it yet. So Nikki, where are you? Where are you located? Let's see. Let me jump over to Twitch here. Rob went to college there too. Catios. Yes, Britt is the Catio king.
Yes, I do make lots of catios, which is what supports my racing and paranormal adventures right now, which I probably should be putting that into savings, but, you know, apparently I would rather travel the country and look for ghosts.
Arkansas wants to know what audio software everyone uses. I use Adobe Audition. It's expensive, but Britt and I are the same way. We subscribe to the whole creative package so we can do video and audio editing. There's a whole bunch of really cool tools in there, but there are free ones available. Like Audacity is a free one. There are others, and that's
a pretty good one.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job too. There's not, you know, the basics. You can't really screw them up with the basics. It's the other tools that come or don't come with the software package. For example, Audition has a lot of filters and EQ options. I don't know that Audacity has all those options. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. And Nikki still hasn't told us where she's from. We have to know where you're from, Nikki, so we know what investigations to reach out to you for.
Oh, so Memphis, you stream? My son is a game streamer, although he hasn't done it recently. He was doing it pretty heavily for a while. And that's why I was playing with him almost every night, because he was streaming every night. Ghost Gamer, I'll look for you you're on Twitch and Facebook. Cool. I'll definitely look for you. Yeah. The what did we say? The Adobe software is Audition. Did we say something else? Did we misspeak?
I don't know. We were talking about a bunch of different stuff.
Well, Audacity's the free one. Did we say Audition? I thought we did, but we may have misspoken. When will we be live next on Facebook? Not sure. We try to get at least one kind of random live in like this a week. Our next live investigations, I think, are going to be in 2 weeks. We're planning some mini investigations. We're not flying to somewhere in the middle of the country. What we're going to do is Britt is going to be at a location. I'm going to be at a location. We're going to be sending our video streams to our studio, and Vax will be at the studio managing it from there. So it'll be 2 investigations going on simultaneously. They'll be a lot smaller than what we normally do, but they will be, they should be pretty interesting. We've got some cool places around each of our homes that we can investigate. So we'll try that. Erica Valkyrie is my PS4 name. I'm going to have to write all this down.
I didn't realize we had this many gamers.
I didn't either. I'm always looking for people to play with, because my son, now he has a girlfriend and now he doesn't have as much time to game. Oh, Nikki's from Pennsylvania. She answered.
Oh, sweet. All right. There's a lot in that area too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that we actually have a bunch of those things on our list. Are you anywhere near Gettysburg by any chance?
And it's close to you.
It makes it a lot easier because I have
so
to
the
drive.
equipment doesn't have to travel so far.
I have to drive. All right, so I got a couple. We've kind of gone over an hour here, but I have a couple. Actually, we're closing in on 2 hours. I've got a couple things I want to share. Britt, I have to talk to you, and you need to talk to your children, Tyler and Riley, about camera technique. Okay, I want to share something with you, and you tell me if this is good camera work.
Okay, and just remember there's a camera behind you, so if you need to move, you can.
It's just my belly.
What, the shot of your belly?
It's my belly.
I think they're trying to get the boob shot. Cleavage. You know, cleavage always brings viewers.
Not my cleavage. My cleavage is not getting any viewers. Either. No way.
Oh my God.
But it gets worse, Britt, because not only that, and this is a still I took from one of the shots, it's both of our bellies.
Oh my God.
This is from video that I just took a still of. I'm like, why is the camera on our bellies?
Were we talking?
Yeah, I don't remember what was going on at the time. I just took a quick screenshot of it while I was editing. I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst shot ever streamed anywhere at any time.
I think that's their way of telling us to get healthy.
Well, I'm working on that. I hope I actually can succeed this time. I'm just trying to read. The belly going to get second. Yeah. Oh my God, these bellies.
It might.
Okay, so
they might get first.
Clear. Got a lot of different people on the portrait.
All right, so this you may have seen this, but we got to talk about this, Britt. How do you fall up the stairs? Let's watch the
Clear. Got a lot of different people on the portraits. Are those people that live here or relatives? Whoa! Somebody's upstairs. Jeez, turn this thing off.
Upstairs,
dude. Whoa. It's somebody.
Yeah, there you go, falling up the stairs.
It's somebody to. It's me.
How on earth did you fall up the stairs?
It was dark. It was dark, and I wanted to get up there fast because it was like, is there somebody up there? And it turns out it was you. You were going to try and drop the cat T-shirt on.
I was going to drop it right on your head. I didn't want you to know it was coming.
Yeah, but you were not light on your feet.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was light on my feet for about half the trip, and then somehow it probably had something to do with the belly. The floor started making noises, and I couldn't help it. But you know what? I have a completely new respect for somebody else who fell up the stairs. Remember this?
Oh my God.
So I don't blame him anymore because I've seen you do it now. So I know.
Well, we're both about the same age, so.
Yeah, falling up the stairs. Classic moment on Paranormal Reality TV.
But the reality was it was dark, and I'm old. And I was excited at the same time. I thought there was a ghost walking around upstairs.
You were very.
And it turned out it was just you.
You were very excited. I'm gonna play it again. I'm just gonna turn the audio off. This is great. So Chastity was asking about the portraits. All of a sudden, you hear something. Mandy's getting excited. Look at that. You're pointing up there with both hands.
Oh, but hold on. Back that up. Look at Mandy she did like the happy step. Like she's running in place. Watch.
Oh yeah.
She's starting to scamper.
A little scamper, and you're like, oh God, I fell up the stairs. Oh, I fell up the stairs. Oh, I fell up the stairs. But that shirt was awesome.
It's amazing. I think that's yeah. I wore it the other day out, and someone asked me where I got it from.
Are you serious? Look at this shirt. Let me advance to that. Look at that bad boy.
There it is.
That's the perfect shirt for a man who builds catios right there.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got 2 catios to build next week. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great investigation. Had a good time. People there were great. T was amazing. How do you say her name again?
Tanisha.
Tanisha, thank you. Tanisha was amazing and a lot of fun. And yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, not only were they great investigations from a paranormal perspective, but both locations that the Ghost Sisters took us to, the Brownella Cottage and the Ura Shrine, the people were fabulous. They were welcoming. They were hospitable. They basically let us have free reign of those locations, and not every place will do that. And these folks were just a real treat to work with. In fact, Brownella Cottage gave us gift baskets like we're somebody.
I know, it was insane. I was so drunk on the plane after I drank that bottle of wine. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That came in handy.
Yeah, it did. All right.
Only because Chris called me out earlier, Chris Cummings, I'm just going to return the favor. I think he spent more time in our chat today than he has in his wife's chat the entire time she streams. What's up with that, Chris? Huh?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. But hey, bros stick together. It's the bro code. It's the bro code.
Oh boy.
Hey, Pam.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't have a taser.
I know, Pam. We owe you guys an apology because we promoted that we were going to do some pretty spectacular things in Mothman country, and actually we had to change our travel schedule so we could only be in Point Pleasant, West Virginia for about 40 minutes. That allowed us enough time to stand by the Mothman statue for Britt to envy the Mothman's ass, to touch it, and to get a picture with it. And and then we kind of had to mosey on our way because of some changes in our schedule. So we didn't get to do what we wanted to do, sadly.
But hey, I got to touch the Mothman's ass,
or the Mathman's ass, whichever. You got them both.
Yeah, whichever.
No, but we're gonna have to get back there at another time. We thought we would be able to spend the night there, and it turned out we couldn't. It was a whirlwind of a few days, so we just couldn't do it. Sadly.
Once again, it was one of those incidents where we allowed our mule mouth to overload our canary ass.
There you go.
We're just trying to put too much into it, and it gets there you go. And then Craig Reed Jr. What is the number one on your want to investigate list but can't? For me, it's the White House. I would love to investigate the White House. Lots of stories out of the White House.
Yeah. The White House would be phenomenal. I'm going to say something different just because I'm not, obviously I'm going to go from the perspective of a place that I actually might have a chance to investigate, because I don't think we'll ever get into the White House. Maybe we will, but right now.
Well, that's what it says, but can't.
Oh, but can't. Okay, so that is the thing, huh? Well, I'm going to say a different place anyway, because you already said White House. I want to investigate the Bell Witch Caves. I want to go to the Bell Witch area and investigate the caves in the area. And I don't know if any. What's that?
Why can't we?
We can. We can. So it's not one we can't. It's one that we haven't, or one that I haven't.
Okay.
So
Where's that at?
It's in Tennessee. I think it's in southern Tennessee.
Maybe Mandy can get us in.
She can get us in anywhere. Mandy can get us in anywhere.
Yeah.
Pam says next time we go to Point Pleasant, we got to hire her to go with us. And I think she was the one that was offering to chauffeur us when we were headed there.
But you heard the word that she used, right? That doesn't work in our contracts. Hire.
Oh, that's right.
Hire. We're no budget productions.
Good point. Well, we're not no budget. We're just out of pocket budget.
Yeah, we're out of pocket budget. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, anyway.
Hire.
I know.
All right.
Well, listen.
Well, I think we've run our mouth long enough, and people are starting to get bored of us. So
I'm getting bored of us. So they must.
Yeah. I mean, I told my girlfriend, we're going to be on for a half hour. What are we, 2 hours later?
2 hours later. That's what happens when you're having fun.
And when I said a half hour, she looked at me and she goes, "It's never a half hour."
So Memphis Ghost Hunter said, "I actually know the people who own the cave."
Really?
Okay. All right. Well, when we're playing Warzone or Apex, one of those games, we're going to have to figure this one out. Figure out the
there you go.
witch stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Is it near Memphis? I can't remember Memphis where it is. I've read a bunch about. Oh, thanks, Chris. More stars from Chris. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best.
Oh my God. I guess I should insult Chris more often.
I don't think he took it as an insult. I think because he fully said,
not.
"You're absolutely right. I spent more time in here than I have in my wife's investigation."
Oh, he said that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, he said it was back here. He said, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" Oh, she knows.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's not hiding the fact. He's not even pretending.
No.
He's not even. Some call it Middle Tennessee, but it's more east. Okay. All right. And Pam says you can call it higher. You can say higher, but it's really just an invite. All right. That's fair too. All right, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Listen, guys, it's been a great Monday night. Great way to kick off the week. We've got more stuff that we'll be posting. If you could please share our posts, share the videos, comment, thumbs up, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. It helps us. Facebook is actually a pretty generous platform all of a sudden when it comes to supporting creators. So we encourage engagement and sharing and all that stuff on our Facebook page. And we are on a quest to 200,000 followers. We are...
Oh, yeah. What are we at? 187?
Oh, we're getting close to 188, so we're getting there. And, if you guys could help us get that number to 200,000, we'll have a big celebration when we reach 200,000. I don't know what we'll do, but it'll be something fun, something exciting.
Exciting. The other thing on Facebook, for those that are subscribers, if you guys can go into the subscriber-only area and look at some of the audio and help us, Mary Grace is doing an amazing job, but we can always use more help.
We should start putting Mary Grace in the credits. She's done so much work for us. Are you going to throw up?
Yeah,
what are you doing
we probably need to give her a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, we should. Nikki, I have been to Gettysburg is one of my favorite places of all time, but because I am a Civil War buff, but it's also obviously an amazing paranormal place as well. We have not investigated there. We actually tried this summer to set up a few of those investigations. The problem is that those places are very, very busy. The summer is obviously their busy season, so they wouldn't shut a place down for us to come investigate for 2 nights, and that's what we generally require. So we'll try to hit them off season. It may not be this off season, maybe next off season, but Gettysburg is definitely high on the list for us, for sure.
Yeah, so I guess I've been to Gettysburg and investigated it quite a bit, done a few events out there, did it with Ghost Hunters. It was an amazing location.
Yeah, there's actually an event that used to happen every year called, Phenomenology. Remember that? You and I used to go.
No, Phenomenology.
Yeah,
Phenomenology.
Yeah, you keep saying
done with COVID killers.
Well, they did a like bring it back, return of Phenomenology. I think it was last year, but I haven't heard anything since then. So I'm assuming that. Listen, one of the things that people don't understand, I've done a lot of events as a promoter. In fact, I had a very successful horror convention called Scaricon, which COVID didn't kill, but it put it into hibernation. Let's put it that way. That event, it took me 10 years to get that event to become profitable, and not even profitable, just to break even, basically. And a lot of people think they can hold these events, and they put a couple faces up on a website or a Facebook page, and they're going to be able to make all this money. And it just does not work that way. Events are far more complicated, and to keep people's attention, it requires far more than just a couple of celebrity faces on a Facebook page or a website. So a lot of these events start, and they're fun and they're great, but the people that are running them lose a shit ton of money, and they'll do it a couple of years, and they don't turn a corner, and they're like, I can't keep losing money like this, and they just stop having the events. If my pockets weren't deep enough, I would have stopped Scaricon after a couple of years, but I was fortunate enough in a position where I could keep going until it turned that corner. So these events are awesome, but unless people support them, they won't continue. It's just the way it works. And I think Phenomenology,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Phenomenology is in that bucket, sadly, because it was a lot of fun down there in Gettysburg.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris, thank you for another 30 stars in Facebook. And with that, we're going to have to close it out. Britt's getting nervous because he's going to get in trouble when he goes back in the house. So, another 50.
I did say a half hour.
Another 50. Well, I'm sorry. Should I call and apologize? I don't know what to do.
No, I'm just saying she rolled her eyes at me like she's right. I mean, she knows it's going to be out here the rest of the night. The reality is I got to start putting a motor together. So that's going to be my next 3 hours.
What is a stars party? Do you see that on Facebook?
No, let me go look. I want to join the party.
Yeah. Michigan.
I don't see stars party.
Michigan Paracon is one that has survived, and it's become very, very popular, Erica. So you're right about that. That's one that's actually been able to thrive. They seem to be doing a good job. A lot of it is related to the location that you can hold it. If the place charges too much money, and a lot of them are expensive to, the venues that you have to rent to be able to have these events, that's what'll kill you. That's what'll kill the event. I don't know what these stars part. Maybe do I have to do something with this? I'm going to click on it. And see.
I don't know because I don't see it on my side, and I'm not in as an admin right now. I'm just in.
Oh well, that's why you don't see it. You're not in as an admin.
Yeah.
So, all right, listen, guys. Sent you all a message about a location that's not okay. Cool. Thanks, Memphis. We appreciate that. Chris, thank you for the stars and the contributions. And let me know when your internet is up and running, and let me know, Chris, when you've gotten into Apex. And I'll even do the training stuff with you, the initial missions, if you want to do that, or you can just go in and become familiar with it, and we'll play some Apex. Memphis, we're going to play too. Erica, I'm trying to remember who else. Slacktastical, a lot of gamers in here. We're gonna all have some fun with some paranormal teams playing some Warzone, Apex. Maybe we'll even play Phasmophobia. Remember that one, Britt? Remember we played that once. We kept dying. We kept dying.
Yeah, we did that for a little bit. What was the other one we used to play where we were down in the sewers and?
Red Dead Redemption.
Redemption.
Was that it? No, it wasn't that. It was Left 4 Dead.
I don't remember.
I think it was Left 4 Dead. Yeah. Oh, Pam, I'm sorry. I didn't know of course you're not chopped liver. Of course you're not. I'm sorry. I just can't, I have a decent memory, but I can't remember all this stuff. I'm trying to keep everybody's names. I'm sorry, Pam. You're definitely not chopped liver.
She sauteed liver.
No, Pam.
Marinated properly with what they find Chianti.
I don't even know. I don't know. Now I feel badly. But anyway, thanks, everybody. We appreciate y'all being here tonight on a Monday. Great way to kick off the week. Again, share, like, follow. If you can subscribe, we really, really appreciate the help and the support for all these things that we're trying to do. So thank you so much. Britt, anything else before we head out of here?
Phone. If you're on Twitch, you can tie your Amazon Prime to it. Remember, you got to do that every month. That gives us a little juice, and doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love you all.
Peace out.
All right. We'll see you guys.